Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to cover how to come up with content ideas specific for your niche that are popular right now, that are trending, or that are evergreen content. So if that sounds good to you, stick around. Hey, Saarenoja here. Welcome to my channel where I help young at heart new YouTubers grow on YouTube. So in today's video, I'm going to give you 5 ways on how to come up with content ideas that is relevant to today for your niche. And I just want to let you know that this is part 4 of a 4-part video series on niche down to blow up. And so if you want to watch the rest of the series before getting into this last video of the series, you can click on the playlist here to access that playlist. It'll walk you through each video. First video was what is a niche, second video is what is my niche, third video was is my niche marketable, and fourth video is this one, which is how to create content for my niche. So we're going to jump right in. The way is keyword research. Hey guys, so the first thing we're going to do with this is we're going to look at Google, and we're going to start by using the autofill to try to figure out ideas for our niche and content ideas that are popular right now. Let's go with the topic of marriage and surviving marriage. How to help my marriage. So how to save my marriage could be a good video to do. How to improve my marriage could be another good video topic. How to save my marriage from divorce, another strong topic. How to help your marriage without counseling, another great topic. How to save my marriage alone. How to save my marriage Christian related marriage. How to save my marriage after I cheated. So it could be how to save my marriage after I cheated, after he cheated, after she cheated. How to save my marriage during separation. So here are already a lot of ideas for your channel that people are searching for. And when you look at it this way, the ones that come up at the top of the list are the most searched, and the ones that are coming up below that are less and less searched for. So they're still probably searched for often, but they're not searched for as often as how to save my marriage. So you could do this to try to find ideas for your content. That is one way you could do it. Another way to do this, actually, I would say, would be to go to Google News. Google News will give you top things that is going on in the world. So you can choose where you're seeing it from, but you could just start to kind of go through these and see if anything relates to your topic. And if you don't see anything off the top, you could just say marriage, and you could search for marriage in Google News. Stigma of divorce kept me married. So this might be a really great topic, actually. Stigma of divorce kept me married. It could be a topic that is really popular right now because that person spoke out about it. So that would be a good thing to do. 3 disagreements that every married couple should take seriously. So that is another one that could be a great topic. So I would go to Google News, put in your topic, and see what is trending right now. So that could be another great way to find topics for your content that are relevant and current right now on people's minds. Another way would be to actually go into YouTube itself and put it in a search. So if you put in marriage, it's marriage advice, marriage proposals, marriage of inconvenience. So let's say we go with marriage advice for men, marriage advice and relationship help, marriage advice for women, marriage advice for young couples. So there's a bunch of topics right there that you could talk about. How to do marriage, what comes up? No, it's or how to improve would probably be a better word. Improve marriage relationship, how to improve marriage life, how to improve marriage without talking about it, how to improve marriage communication, etc., etc. So those are some ideas that you could come up with. Another thing you could do is go to Amazon, which I love to do because Amazon is huge, and do a search for your topic. Marriage workbooks for couples, marriage devotional for marriage on the rock, marriage books. Okay, so within marriage books, we see a lot of tops. These are all sponsored, but if we look at bestsellers, The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work, Love and Respect, 5 Love Languages, that has been around forever, The Meaning of Marriage. So here we could start to get ideas. You could talk about these books. You could talk about concepts in these books. You could talk about, rebuilding trust, how to choose her every day. You could really start to go into these books and kind of analyze what is the main idea that they're trying to get across. You could look in the description of the books. So if you open this one up, let's say, The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work has revolutionized the way we understand, repair, and strengthen marriages. So these are a lot of words that they're using that probably people who are struggling with marriage would use to talk about their marriage. So repair, strengthen, habits that can make or break a marriage, straightforward yet profound. These principles teach patterns, new approaches for resolving conflicts, create new common ground, achieve greater levels of intimacy. So intimacy might be one that you could talk about as well. And then whether dealing with issues related to sex, money, religion, work. So these are all different topics you could talk about on your channel that all are relating back to how to make a marriage work. So there, I think there's a lot of great ideas in Amazon. So that's a good start for getting you ideas for content creation that relate to your niche, with using keyword research and trends and what's popular now and checking out popular bestseller books and that type and those types of things. The second way to create content that is relevant to your niche is to look at what your competitors are doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop into YouTube and we're going to check out what the competitors are doing in your niche and see what videos are working for them and what are not working for them, and kind of use that as an idea generator for our own ideas. So let's continue with marriage counseling. And let's say your competitors, you look up marriage counselor on YouTube. And here comes this one, Secrets of Couples Counselors, 3 Steps to Happier Relationships. This person comes up, Susan. You could research her. You could look at this guy. This had 623,000 views. He has 988,000 subscribers, and he is Jimmy on relationships. So you could open him up and see what he is doing and get some ideas from him. Here's Good Guide to Great Men. This is maybe geared more towards men. So if you want to focus more on men, you could look at this guy. But I would say just open them up and start to look at their topics of what they're talking about and what has done well on their channel. And that could help give you some ideas. So we can actually click into his channel itself and go to his videos. And I love this. He is so honest right up. I confessed to my wife that I had an affair and she kicked me out, rightfully so. Right away, you know that he has had a rocky relationship before and that he survived it. And that is his strength. Now he's helping others survive it. So if you go to most popular videos, you could see what videos he's done that really help grow his channel. So early narcissist clues, why your avoidant partner is stonewalling you and how I stopped it. I killed my marriage, like 7 steps, they are the one, or 7 signs, sorry, they are the one. So I think that you could really go in and get some ideas from different competitors and see what they're doing and write down those ideas and then compile a list and then choose the one that you think is the best or that you think you could speak about most easily or with your proficiency level and the knowledge that you have and how you could actually spin it in your own unique way. Now, we're not talking about copying what they're doing, but to use their ideas of talking about narcissism or talking about are they the one in your own way and your own unique style, which will help with content creation. Okay, so that is how to look at your competitors. You could also just simply do Google search for marriage counselors top 5. 10 best marriage counseling. Then you can go to their websites and you can see what they're doing or talking about on their website, whether they have podcasts, blogs, etc. I'm not going to go into it, but you could, just open it up, see what they're all doing and get some ideas there and start to write down some ideas of topics for your channel as well. Okay, let's move on. Hey guys, I hope you're getting value from this video. I just wanted to pop in here really quickly and say, of course, like and subscribe. But in addition to that, I wanted to let you know that I do offer personalized consulting sessions for how to grow your YouTube channel. If you want to meet with me one-on-one to discuss your YouTube channel, whether you've started your channel or haven't started it yet, I can help you gain clarity on your niche, on how you should start, where you should go, what content you should create, how often you should create it, and all of these great things. So if that sounds good to you, in the description below of all my videos, I have a link to my calendar where you can sign up for a time slot with me that works with your schedule. I look forward to meeting with you, and now let's get back to the video. The third way to come up with content, and one that I think is the most valuable way, is to think about your customer avatar's pain point. So your ideal customer avatar is your audience and your viewers of your channel. And you need to think about what pain are they experiencing? What are they struggling with? What are they afraid of? What keeps them up at night? And really address those issues. So if you have been in your industry and you're proficient at it and you've helped people over like maybe the last decade or 2 decades, because you're probably midlifer and beyond if you're watching my channel, and you have experience in how to help these people, what you need to do is remember back to what pain they're experiencing, not just the solution, but what is the pain, and speak to that pain point when you present your content. So that you're presenting your content as a solution to their problem. And when you help people overcome something, when you help give them ideas on how to solve their problems, how to overcome their challenges, you are gold in their eyes, and they will continue to come back to your channel. For example, let's say you are a marriage counselor and you are actually still conducting that work. You still have an office, so you still have clients coming into you. So when clients come into you, what is the first thing that comes out of their mouth? The first thing they say is, he doesn't listen to me. She doesn't understand me. So communication. Communication is a huge problem in marriages. So you would address communication issues and how to overcome those in your marriage. Make sense? Okay. And this leads me to point number 4, which is the fourth way to create content. And that is to learn the language of your audience. How are they speaking about their problem? So if we continue with the same example of a client coming into your office and you're a marriage counselor, they say, he doesn't listen to me, and the man is saying, she doesn't understand me. Those are the words that they are using to describe their problem of communication, right? They're not saying we can't communicate, right? They're saying he doesn't listen and she doesn't understand. So you need to use that terminology in your titles or when you're addressing the problem. So address the problem using their language. So that would be way number 4, to really think about, go back into any of the experiences you've had with your customers or your audience over the years and think about what is the language they use. And if you have a channel already and you want to get more content ideas, go into the comments of your videos and see the language they're using, right? See what their questions they're asking and how they're asking them, and really pay attention to the terminology, the verbiage that they are using to describe their problems. And I have a few other ways on how to do this. So let's jump to my computer now and I will show you that. So learn the language of your viewers. This is another one that you can do by going to Amazon, actually. Go into the comments of, say, popular books like this. Scroll down until you see the comments. Customer reviews, you can look at the 5-star, 1-star. I would say that it's useful to look at the 5 and maybe the 3 stars or something like that, because usually they will tell you what's missing. Like, they like the book, but I wish it had more of this. But let's start with the 5 stars, and you can see what people are talking about. So they were afraid the book would be too clinical, but and be boring, but it wasn't. It was easy to read and follow. So that is something that could give you a clue to your videos. Make them easy to follow. Break complex ideas into simple ideas. Give true life examples. There's questionnaires. They liked scores of self-examination questionnaires. Lots of practical things a couple can do to discover and understand each other better. So these are the things that people are drawn to in this book that they might be drawn to in your channel. So this is also could give you content ideas, but also just look at how they're speaking about it. They like that it was simple ideas. It wasn't sciencey. Help me see things from different perspectives. So maybe something that would be a language they would use, a terminology that I use, like my husband's perspective, my wife's perspective. What sets this book apart is the empathetic approach. So common relationship pitfalls is sensitivity, offering guidance without judgment. So that could be another, again, these are not necessarily language that people are using, but could give you good ideas of how to set your content apart, to be sensitive, to offer guidance without judgment. Be like, I know this happens in marriages. Don't be ashamed of it, but let's look how we can fix it. People are talking about emotional intelligence. The bond between partners. Maybe that's a word people use, terminology. My bond with my husband, my bond with my wife. I wish it was stronger. So go through the comments and try to find the language they're using, but also look at what they appreciate in the books or in the stuff they're learning that made them feel comfortable, that made them like this author, and those types of things. I think it could really help with building your content in such a way that is appealing to your clientele or to your audience. And the 5th way to create content for your viewers is relating to your own personal history, your own personal experience. If you are talking about something you know about, something you're proficient in, you had to overcome certain hurdles in your life to get to this point. So tapping back into your knowledge, your gained experience, your gained knowledge over the years, tap into that and think about, okay, if I look back over the past 10 years, what were the best things? What were the most effective tools or effective things or effective strategies that I used to get to where I am today? Could you help save someone time? With all of your 10, 20 years of experience, could you get someone from point A to point B where you are now faster than you got there by providing them with strategies, advice, guidance, tips, etc. to get them there? So I would recommend looking at your past career or your past experiences or whatever you're focusing on for your niche, write out a timeline and put milestones. Like, what do you remember back in your history of your experiences that really transformed you? Okay. So for example, for me, if I was doing self-development channel, there were some points in my life that really clicked on a switch or it really led to transformation. For example, when I was in my 20s, I was living in the States. I lived in about 15 different places within, I don't know, the span of 8 years. So I was constantly moving and trying to find myself as I was moving. But I was looking for myself in the cities I was moving to. I was trying to find my place in the world, but I was never finding the place inside myself. So I never felt comfortable anywhere because I wasn't comfortable with myself. So I was actually using those different cities to escape each time. When I lived somewhere and I didn't feel comfortable, I moved and I went somewhere new, and everything was new and fun for a while. And then after a year or two, it was like, oh, now I have to deal with my own issues again, but I don't want to deal with my own issues. So it must be this place. I don't like this place. I'll move somewhere else, right? So that whole journey, I realized, was not helpful. Right? It was just me running away from myself and trying to find myself in different cities, but I didn't exist in those cities because I existed within myself. So that was one part of my journey. Then another part of my journey was I fled my home country and I moved to a completely random country. I moved to Finland, which is where I live now. And when I did that transformation, or when I took that leap, it led to an entirely different transformation of me. It led to looking inside because there was no distractions in Finland, right? There was nothing to do in Finland. I moved to a farm country in the dead of winter where I was 5 feet under snow and in darkness, living in a cabin in the middle of the woods. The closest neighbor was 3 kilometers away. So I was forced to look inside, right? And it was painful, but it was the biggest growth I ever experienced. So I could talk about that. There you can notice the different phases. The first phase was I was running. I was searching in the wrong places for who I was. Then I landed in a country where I had to face myself and I found myself. Then I had another phase in life where I lost my job, I lost my identity, I had kids, and I had to refine myself again. You could create a timeline and look for chunks or parts that kind of create the whole and talk about those different chunks on the journey to help people get from point A to point B faster. Hopefully this is making sense, and share your experiences in your content. I think it's really useful when you are trying to explain ideas to people of how to transform, that you actually include your own personal experiences or experiences of your clients that you've had, or some story that really ties it home to the heart center for those people in order for them to change or inspire them to change. So there you have it. Those are 5 powerful strategies for coming up with content ideas. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video.